Well, the problem is a lot of us are what I call watch predators, watch addicts. We have a watch addiction, and what you need to do is understand that if you are one, and you probably are one if you go on this channel, you are materialistic. And what does that mean to be materialistic? Well, first of all, if you're materialistic, a watch means more than just a watch, because materialism is ascribing a meaning to objects. And the smarter you are, the more you have a tendency to do that. Let me give you an example. But this won't surprise you at all. I don't just obsess over watches. I mean, I have an obsessive personality in general, and I ascribe certain meanings to objects. I'll give you some examples. I love vintage Gillette razors. Well, why? I mean, well, I love them because they're good, they're high quality, and they represent that to me. And they kind of represent going away from the junk that's being marketed to us today, so that's part of it. But it's also about lost innocence. It's also about childhood. My father, he shaved with a Gillette Fat Boy, a Gillette Super Speed, and gives me fond memories. So there's that association, and materialism is an association of some kind of meaning with the object. Give another example. I have an obsession with radios. A radio has to have perfect reception. And for me, a radio is about connection. It's about being invited to a dinner party so I can hear the conversation. Huge obsession with radios. My radio obsession started kind of late in my life, 2004. 1 year later was my watch obsession when I saw Citizen Echozilla in a watch store. I was changed forever. So I buy these things, these loop term journals, and I'm obsessed with them. And they kind of represent analog creative freedom in a world that's gone mad in its digital era. A world gone to complete madness. So what happens is we ascribe meaning to objects. And when I think of watches, which is something that just drives us into complete madness, we're predators for the watch. I think there are 4 emotional types of satisfactions we're looking for through the watch. And the first, I would say, is we're looking for an identity. I mean, looking for an identity is a powerful drive that we all have. And so, we're lost and we want to find out who we are. So what is a watch to you? Well, you might wear a tool watch because you aspire to be a master craftsman who makes cabinets. You make canoes with Rococo etching. You make home furnishings. I mean, you are a master craftsman. You're a master at something. And that's a very powerful identity to have. You might be into oceanic adventures. You might be a deep sea diver. You may be a surgeon or an attorney or a television political pundit, and you need the gravitas that comes with wearing Swiss-made power jewelry. That just might be your identity. You might be someone who wants to show the world that you're a non-materialist, that you're so not materialistic that you wear a $10 quartz Timex, even though a lot of you who do that, I notice, are driving $50,000 Subaru Outback Limited Editions. So I'm getting some mixed signals there, buddy, with your showing off how non-materialistic you are. Some of you want to be the hero, and you might see Brad Pitt wearing an Italian watch. What's that called? The Terraciello Mate, 47mm in World War Z. And you have to wear that watch so when someone's drowning or being attacked by a tiger shark, you can rip your shirt off, dive into the water, and save the day. Any other types of identities? Well, you may need the elegance and the savvy of the business boardroom. Whatever your identity is, that's a powerful thing. The second emotional thing we're looking for when we buy a watch is, honestly, the story of the human race is that we're all broken. We are just broken human beings, and we all want to be whole again. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. We are broken and we want to be whole again, and a watch represents that return to being whole. So there's a movie about this, and it's called Citizen Kane. And Charles Foster Kane, he got rich and he built a castle, and he crowded his castle with statues, swimming pools, and exotic zoo animals in an attempt to feel whole again. Of course, it didn't work. All those swimming pools. By the way, I have a neighbor who has 3 swimming pools in his backyard. Seriously, dude? You can't swim in 3 swimming pools. Are you rubbing my face in your success, son? Huh? Come on, man. 1 pool's enough for you. Come on. Don't do that to me. All right, so, we want to be whole again. I think the third thing we want to do is we want a sense of belonging and acceptance. We want to belong to a club. Are you a member of the Breitling Club? Are you a member of the Omega Rolex Club, the Seiko Grand Diver Club? We all want belonging. I mean, it's in our genes. It's Darwin. You can't be a loner. You need mutual reciprocity. You need cooperation for societies and civilizations to grow and to flourish. So we all want to be part of something larger than who we are. And we do that often by buying a watch. Hey, look what I got. I'm a member of your community now, your club, your tribe. And I think the last emotional thing we want to do is we all feel kind of lost and we want to return to home. And so, I notice I have a problem, and a lot of you do too, with rebuy. And I think a rebuy is an attempt to come home again, to come home to something. It's weird. I think folk songs, the number 1 theme in folk songs are broken hearts, but I think the number 2 theme in a folk song is, I want to go home, man. I need to go home. Yeah, whatever, dude. You're already home, so stop singing about it. So I think the problem when we do this, and I read, what was it? The Journal of Consumer Research did a long report on materialism, as I just mentioned. And this probably won't shock you. Materialism makes you depressed. It makes you unhappy. What happens is, according to this long-term study, when you anticipate getting something, when you anticipate getting your Breitling in the mail or your Seiko tuna in the mail or whatever it is, your endorphins are raging, man. You're elated. And what happens is you're actually happier anticipating something. Getting it actually results in disappointment and declined happiness. What I would call it a consumer hangover. You're bitter, you're disappointed, your inflated expectations haven't been met. And so what happens is you get caught in a vicious cycle because you want to get those endorphins up again, so you go on the hunt again. The watch predator comes out, man. It's hard to kill that watch predator. And you get trapped in a vicious cycle. So is there a cure for this? I don't know. I don't know if there's a cure for it. I mean, I can give you some pointers, and I don't know if they'll help you or not. One, I think you need to recognize that intelligent people do this, so you shouldn't feel ashamed. I think you need to recognize that lonely people get into materialism. It's a substitute for connection, and you don't need to be ashamed about being lonely. People are lonelier. Did you know in the 1980s the average American had 4 friends? As I make this video, 2018, the average American has 1 friend. I think it's 1.4. What the heck does 0.4 mean? Doesn't mean anything. People don't have conversations on the phone anymore. We stopped having conversations on phones around 2003. We text, we do stuff on social media. It's not the same. Don't be ashamed of it. It's I think part of it is we're just busy. I think people have to work longer hours just to pay their bills, and they come home, they're exhausted, man. They fall asleep with their clothes on, with a puddle of saliva on their pillow. Boom! People are tired. I think you need to recognize the underlying things you're trying to find emotionally. That might help. The substitutes you're looking for. You should directly address those things. For example, if you're looking for creativity or identity or connection, maybe you should find those things directly rather than through a watch. Though, I try to stay creative. I play a lot of piano, I do a lot of writing, I work out, I got my weight down. It hasn't really tempered my watch cravings that much, though I feel pretty good about making this video about it. So I think the other thing you need to do is look for patterns of your shopping. And I've talked to a lot of watch predators, a lot of fellow watch addicts, and they all tell me the same thing. Whenever I have elevated anxiety, stress in my life, I want to shop. I think buying a watch, pulling the trigger on a watch, is a response to heightened levels of anxiety. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are watch predators. We are materialists. We ascribe meaning to things. We're hardwired to do it, but we need to be more aware of it to keep it in control. I don't know if we can get rid of it, but I think we can temper it a little bit, be a little bit more moderate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out.